She is back. She is back with a vengeance. With a vengeance. Hi. Today we're talking about how many people go about this world without even allowing themselves to entertain the thoughts of their own desires. Okay, that's what we're talking about. How people rob themselves of their own experience to actually experience what they desire, to even imagine, to even go into the state of what they fulfill, what they really wish and desire and yearn for. And I really want to help encourage you to cultivate that and to learn how to recalibrate and refocus that energy in a way that is conducive to, your health and your vitality and your creativity and that cosmic compass that we all have, right? So I want to talk about how there are so many ways in which we trump that experience through logic, through reason, through rationality, through our intellect, right? Through memory, and how to really get at that imaginative state, to get to that way of even aligning yourself with the frequency and the state in which you want to call in. That's because that's all it is, right? It's really about just aligning yourself with the vibration and the frequency of that state that you're desiring. That's what it is. It's not about striving and yearning and trying to achieve something. It really is. It's just about alignment. And that's where people get that wrong. And they're like, wow, alignment, what does that mean? But it's just about allowing yourself to feel it in your body, to feel safe in your body and in your mind, to have that mind body awareness, to tap into that infinite intelligence and be like, I am safe here. I am deserving of being here. And this is what I wish to call in. So many people rob themselves of that because they're like, you know what? This isn't rational. I'm poor. I'm this happened to me in the past. There's all of these cascading beliefs that just compound that experience and don't even allow them to fully embody it. So, how do you embody it? How do you embody it? One is understanding, having the awareness, cultivating the awareness of those higher faculties, right? So it's really understanding where memory comes into play, where intellect comes into play, where your imagination comes into play, where reason, how and how your perception, how do all of those become part and parcel of creation, right? And and you can do that every single day, right? By practicing, by honing in on those practices to actually allow yourself to experience it. And for me, I find that through meditation, it's going to sound cliche, but it is through visualization, it is through calming my nervous system through breath work and through yoga, and to allow myself to not have an out of body experience, but to really just allow my body to feel so relaxed and so at ease, and that my mind, as a result, has to calm down. And I'm coming from a place where I have been so neurotic like most of my life. And by neurotic, I mean having high amounts of anxiety and depression where I wasn't even able to think clearly. Okay. I'm not talking about like, oh, like this is just my mind is running a mile a minute. But really, my baseline used to be um just really anxious and depressed, and that's who I thought I was. I really thought that's who I was as a person, and my whole personality became a development of that, or an extension of that. And I just want to remind you that it's possible to really cultivate that inner peace and to really listen to that inner knowing by removing the external outside noises, by really limiting those distractions and not trumping yourself from imagining and really allowing yourself to create, because that is why we're here. We are here to tap into that infinite intelligence. We are placed on this earth in these physical bodies to tap into that infinite like intelligence and that collective consciousness that we all have. Not one person is better than another person. We are all unique. We're all just unique expressions of that collective, right? So that's what I'm hoping to drive home today, is that it is like your gift in this world to use your imagination, right? So much of that is underutilized because we don't allow ourselves to do it. So you see that vicious cycle. It's a vicious cycle. And we have these deep reservoirs of talent and skills that go underutilized. So I really encourage you to just take inventory, take stock of the fact of where are those skills that you have? Where are those deep reservoirs of talent that you are depriving yourself from because you have already jumped 10 steps ahead? You've used your logic and your reason to say, oh, you know what? I can't do this. I can't do that. There's people who've gone to the moon. We've created like so many things. Just think of the amount of innovation that has happened in this world. Like, that is because people have decided that they wanted to learn more. They wanted to go within the unknown. They were not just like, oh, you know what? I'm just going to stick to the status quo and that's that. And that's my life and I'm going to accept it. No, they're like, I'm willing to not be right about this, but I'm still going to try and I'm still going to use my imagination for good, for, the service of other people, and look at where we are. So anyway, so where are you trumping yourself? Where are you not allowing yourself to actually express to your fullest potential, right? Like, what is it that you are saying to yourself? And you really have to look at your mental chatter. You really have to take stock of the types of thoughts that you were thinking and what are the things that you were saying to yourself. What are those statements? What are those paradigms? What are you saying that is kind of deflecting or dismissing that? So that's where I want you to start. Sorry, I just needed to check that was still on. And then I want you to understand that there are all of these higher faculties that we have. And I've got this from Bob Proctor. I've listened to a lot of Bob Proctor and Napoleon Hill from Think and Grow Rich. And that is, we have logic, we have reason, we have our imagination, we have memory, and we have our perception, right? These are all of our higher faculties. And if we harmonize those higher faculties and not just rely on one or the other and say, oh, okay, well, I need to do this to be smart, or I need to do this to succeed in my job, or I need to do this to have status. No, to really listen that all of those things are part and parcel of who you are as a person and your ways of tapping into infinite intelligence, or are preventing you from tapping into infinite intelligence. So, for example, we have memory, right? Memory serves a function, right? It allows us, like, we've survived because of memory. Like, if we didn't remember all the times where, we were wronged or hurt, or, we just would not be here because we would just be like, just clumsy beings. So memory serves a function. But if you use your memory only to live in the past or to project the future, then you are not like utilizing it for its purpose. So knowing that memory serves a function and where you are on that spectrum. We then have perception, and that's our ability to use all of our five senses, like tune up those five senses, really amplify them, or we can dull them, right? And really dissociate from our experience and feel so disconnected from the world that we live in. Sometimes those senses can be so overwhelming, right? Especially people who are like on the autistic spectrum. If you feel just so overwhelmed by sensory information, that will interfere with your day-to-day ability to get things done and to navigate the world through safety and through not about getting things done, but through just without it being just so overwhelming. So knowing again where you're at on that spectrum as well. And then we have reason, right? So, and like using our reason and our intellect, I'm kind of using those interchangeably. But so many people are stuck in their intellect because they think that's what's gotten them so far. They think that's what's allowed them to succeed in life. And maybe it has served its function, but to what extent, to what end, right? Like, if it's causing you to be extremely depressed and anxious, I really encourage you to think, like, where are you just operating from the mind and not even using your heart, right? Because there is that symbiotic relationship. And reason alone is not going to get us far either, right? Like, we have to understand that, like, yes, it is important to critically think about things. It is important to take all of the information that's around us and deduce it and digest it and be able to make sense out of it, right? And for everybody, that's going to be different. Everyone's perception is going to be different based off of their lived experience. So how do we also take in that there are all of these different truths that are operating around us, right? And not faulting people or making them feel bad or dividing them or trying to conquer them or assimilate them. Like, it really is a matter of just saying, okay, this is my lived reality, this is your lived reality, and knowing that people are tuning into different vibrations and frequencies all the time, right? And one thing that I've really learned, I'm kind of going all over the place right now, but is that the heart is your subconscious, right? Like if you think about it, like our subconscious, you can imprint anything within the subconscious as long as you think about it. Like as long as you have that feeling matched with that visualization of um sort of visualize it, the visual matched with the feeling, that is like your subconscious doesn't know if that is real or not, right? So that is like you can tap into that at any point of the day, any time of the day, no matter how stressful things may be. And that's what I just really want to encourage, is for you to really exercise your imagination and to really tap into that creativity, because I know as adults, it can be so hard to, when you become so conditioned and that things have been put on you in layers and sheets and all of these things, and other people's projections and other people's expectations and what they want, it can be really hard to even like tune that out and listen to what you really want. But you have it within you. I promise you, you have it within you to just really express that truth, and to know that that subconscious is your heart, and that is what's connecting you to infinite intelligence. And we just have to eliminate the distractions. And so I've got a few notes here, so I'm just trying to like trying to stay on topic here. Um but the point I was trying to make with all those higher faculties is that, that's all of those things, when they are in harmony, when you're able to sync them up, that is the power that's flowing to you, and that is omnipresent, right? That's not just within you, that's within everybody, that's within all of creation, that's what's in the trees, that's what's in the air, that's what's in the animals. All of that is omnipresent. That is spirit, that is everywhere all at once, right? And it's just a matter of fine tuning and putting yourself on that frequency. And that's all it takes. That's really all it takes, is that focusing and that calibration. And it is going to be harder for some people who have so much resistance, who already have all these ingrained thoughts and patterns and belief systems and paradigms that are clouding that experience, right? That are really muddying up that experience. But you can always let it go, right? You can always push it away and let it go. And it just takes that awareness. It really takes your awareness and understanding to just simply let it go. And so, if we just really understand that desire is the effort of the unexpressed possibility within, we can do so much. We can do so much. It's just, that's what it is. Desire and that want is just the expression of all the unexpressed possibility within. And you can bring it into physical form. I promise you, you can bring it into physical form. It's just you have to believe it first. You have to have faith that it is there for you and there for the claiming. And when you start seeking that expression without action, it just remains in that esoteric form, in that esoteric realm. But you have to be able to like follow those nudges and follow those steps, and you will get that through synchronicities and through aligned action, if you listen, right? If you choose to tune in and listen. So I will I will leave it at that. I just want this to be a beautiful reminder that you um you are just so worthy of your desires. You really are so worthy of your desires. You are worthy of all the wants and things that you yearn for. It's not stupid. It's not silly. Nobody is ridiculing you. Okay? Anything that you can conceptualize, anything that you believe, or really just think about if you're a little kid and you have make believe. Like some people might call that silly and ridiculous, but like that's just because kids haven't been conditioned yet um to believe that they can't do it. They just are able to use their imagination, and they're that purity, that playfulness, that that love of just like, without all of that hardening, without all of that friction that already causes that resistance. So if you can tap into that, that is your superpower. That really is your superpower. And you're able to just you're able to live a way more fulfilling life, a way more peaceful life. And I'm just here to remind you that that desire is true. It's true. If you can think it, if you can think it in your mind, if you can have a vision for it, it can become a reality. It can come into physical form. When you know that will happen, you will not know exactly when that will happen. And that's part of the beauty of that unfolding, is to trust in that process and to trust that it will come to you when you're ready to receive it. And you have to believe that you will receive it. And so I'm coming from again a perspective of somebody who, like, I'm telling you, if you told me this information 5 years ago, I would not have been ready to receive that information. But I am at a point now, and that just shows the growth and expansion, and the possibility that comes with self discovery, with self awareness, with insight, and listening to those intuitive nudges, and being able to harmonize all of those things together. So just know it's possible. I would love for you to leave a comment of something that you are truly desiring, and we can collectively all, um, you know, bring that about just by you claiming it, right? And just by you being able to put it out there, and to express it. So I am wishing you all a lovely day, and I'm sending you so much love, and know that it is like yours for the claiming. It really is yours for the claiming, and to not rob yourself, to not trump yourself of it. Okay? Just allow yourself, take inventory, take stock of where you are robbing yourself from even experiencing the desire, and to allow this to be a permission slip to even entertain it as a possibility. It might not happen overnight, might not happen tomorrow, it might. um, you might make that jump, but just to allow yourself, just, to sink into that. And I'll leave some resources below of like some breath work and some meditations that I find particularly useful to align myself and my nervous system in the state to allow myself to even experience it. But I just want to say that no desire is too silly. Nothing should be ridiculed. You are here for a reason, and you have all of this unexpressed possibility within, and it's really up to you to express it through your self expression, through the way you want to create, through the way you recalibrate your focus and your energy. And I'm here to help. So have a great, lovely day. Sending you lots of love.